Hi, welcome to the Keep It Real podcast with Cindy and Destiny. And today our special guest is Zaiden Kayne. We're excited for this. It's good to see you.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you guys. Good to be here. I'm happy to be here.
So for people that don't know you, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself to get started?
Yeah. I am an independent professional wrestler named Zaiden Kayne. I mainly wrestle in the tri-state area between Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. I have traveled outside the state a lot. I have been wrestling for 14 years now, if you count my training. I spent the first 2 years training under Alan Lynch, or the first year training under Alan Lynch, and then I spent my second year training under Dirk Cunningham. He goes by American Idol Dirk Extreme. I trained for about 2 years before I ever had my first match, which was May 1st, 2011. So
wow,
it's been 12 years now, almost 13 since I've had my first match, and yeah, been working all over the tri-state area consistently for the past 13 years. I've been to a lot of places outside the state: California, Texas, New York, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. You name it, I've probably wrestled there.
That's awesome that you're not just stuck in one spot, you know?
Yeah. It's all about, like, everybody has their moments, and what does it for me, what keeps me in the business, is still, like, I get to travel. I get to see so much cool stuff. There's, like, I've been to places that I've only, like, read about in, like, a history book or seen in a magazine or something. Like, I never thought I'd like get to see these places in person, and I've got to do all that because of wrestling.
That's what we were talking about the other day. She was like, man, she said, I wonder once I'm trained. She's talking about where all she's going to be able to go and where all they're going to, traveling with just FTC in general.
So. Yeah, they go everywhere. Like, I'm glad they're starting to get into the Huntington area now. They do shows all over the place in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Pace is doing a really good job with Art of Grappling. Like, these guys and girls he's got coming up now, they're a bunch of hardworking kids, and they're doing really good.
Yeah, Joe Pace is
Destiny, you're one of them. You're one. I didn't even know you were training, so I'm really rooting for you. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, we had been missing you. We hadn't seen you for a minute.
Again, I'm always booked, like, everywhere. I get a lot of bookings, and a lot of promoters always, like, trying to reach out, so it's really hard for me to get certain places like especially, like, the same company multiple times. It's rough now, because 9 times out of 10 it's like first come first serve. If somebody messages me ahead of time, hey, can we use you for this date? Oh, this guy already reached out to me before. Sorry, man, maybe next time.
Also, it's hard to balance that as booked as you are, along with your regular life, with your job and stuff. So,
yeah, it can be rough sometimes. Trying to wrestle, trying to work, trying to be a father, all this stuff at once. It gets overwhelming sometimes.
What made you want to get into wrestling anyway?
I was about 8 or 9, and I always knew what wrestling was. Like, I knew about it. I just didn't really like my attention. One night, I was just staying up late, because that's what 9-year-olds do. They don't want to go to bed. So I didn't want to go to bed. I was trying to stay up late, so I'm channel surfing, and WCW's on. It was Monday Nitro, and the NWO's out there, all 50 of them, and they're all out there talking smack on the microphone, and the fans are throwing trash at them and everything. And I'm like, man, like, I'm waiting for somebody, like, jump the barricade and, like, attack these guys. And then, like, out of nowhere, Sting drops from the ceiling on, like, a grappling hook. Like, he comes down like Batman, and he just drops down from the ceiling, and he beats every single one of them with the baseball bat. like beats the crap out of all these guys. And Hulk Hogan gets out of there like a coward, and he runs to the ramp, and he's like, he's pointing the baseball bat at me, brother. Whoa! And they were building to the big Starrcade match that they had. That was like the match of the decade or whatever. It was Sting versus Hogan for the world title with Starrcade. They were building to that, and they haven't gotten there yet, but they were doing the build up for it. And I think that was like my first time actually like watching wrestling, and then I'm like, I kind of want to see what happens next week. I kind of really want to see what happens next week. And then it hooked me from there. And then like that following week when I would watch it, I saw guys like Rey Mysterio and Diamond Dallas Page. I seen the Harlem Heat, and fun fact, Booker T is who inspired me to become a professional wrestler in the first place. Like I seen Booker T and I saw the Harlem Heat, and I told my mother, I was like, "Ma, this is what I want to do." Like all my friends were like wanting to be like cops and firefighters and doctors and stuff when they grow up. I'm like, nah, I want to slam Hulk Hogan. I want to win the world title. You know what I mean? Like, I want to do this. I want to do what these guys are doing. Like it hooked me.
So Booker T is your inspiration.
Yeah, he really is. From 9 years old, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be a professional wrestler. Like from that day forward, like you couldn't tell me nothing. I was going to be a wrestler.
Sounds like you. She's just
like,
tell me who your
my mom would ask me like, have you ever thought about a career out like after you get out of school? And I'm like, yeah, I want to wear spandex. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's my career, mother. I'm going to wear spandex.
And not to do ballet, right?
Yeah. My career, I'm going to wear spandex and get all hot and sweaty and go hug on grown men. That's what I want to do with my life. And I've made a decent little living so far. Like, I mean, I'm not obviously making the money those guys on TV make, but I do pretty well on the shows I get booked for and selling merch and stuff like that. Like, I can pay some of my bills with wrestling. Like I can pay on my electric bill. I can pay my cell phone bill and stuff like that. Like, and it's not like, oh my God, I'm in some luxurious house or anything. But if I can buy groceries and pay my bills off of wrestling, I feel like I'm doing pretty good right now.
Oh, absolutely. How does somebody get hold of you if they want to book you or get your merch?
I've got a million ways for that. Obviously, if nobody, I don't. You can always reach out to me on Facebook from Messenger. I'm wishy-washy when it comes to Facebook, but I'm on Instagram all the time. You find me on Instagram, TwinKilla666. You can find me on. I have a website, no third party. I have my actual own website, ZaidenKayne.com. You can easily find me right there, ZaidenKayne.com. All my highlights, pictures, videos, everything will pull up on that website. Booking information, all that stuff's right there.
Hey, that's awesome. I don't think we even knew that. Yeah, we didn't even know
that.
Yeah,
a good friend of mine I grew up with, he is a web designer. Like that, he went to school for this and everything. He's a web designer. He's like, hey man, you need somebody to like market you and advertise you. He's like, what if I build you a website? I'm like, yeah, definitely. Now I have my own website. Like you can buy all my merch from there and everything.
Oh, see, we've never even got to see your merch. As many times as we've seen you, we have never got to see your merch. So that's really cool.
Yeah, normally I'm normally lazy and don't bring my table with me. But yeah, I have I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I am on SoundCloud, I'm on Twitch as well because I stream as well. But nobody wants to watch me play video games, so it's okay.
Oh well.
Nobody wants to sit and watch me play video games for hours at a time. It's fine.
I bet Jeremiah would love that because that's what he does. My youngest.
My son, I have an 11-year-old. He's my oldest. He's my oldest son, my oldest kid. Period. And that's what he does all day. He'll sit on Twitch and watch other people play video games. I'm like, son, you have an Xbox. You play your own Xbox. He's like, Dad, I want to watch other people play Xbox. I'm like, okay.
I guess they want to learn. I don't know.
Well, that's what kind of got me into it because I would sit there and watch other people play. I'm like, people actually sit here and watch people play video games. So I started streaming on Twitch, and people sometimes tune in. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's cool.
I'm not sure who wants to sit and watch me play Fortnite, but it is what it is.
So, what do you have coming up?
November the 11th, I will be in Nitro, West Virginia for MVW. I am defending my United States Championship against Tyler Jackson, a street fight.
Oh,
If anybody wants to come check that out. And then November 4th, I forgot about that. November the 4th, I will be in New Haven, West Virginia, for TWA. I am going one-on-one with Michael Saint. This is the first time ever match. I've known Michael Saint for a long time now. We've never had the chance to go one-on-one, so I'm really excited about that. Like, I'm really excited about some first-time matches.
What's been your most difficult match? Like your most difficult opponent you've ever faced?
Jason Kincaid.
Really?
Easily Jason Kincaid. and I say that because he's such a perfectionist. It's one of those things like, if I don't match what he's doing, the fans aren't going to buy it. Like, they're not going to be invested. They're not going to care about it. And it's just going to be, it's going to look like I'm out there trying to keep up with him if I don't pull my weight. So it's one of them things. I've got to match exactly what he's doing, move for move, bar for bar, hold for hold. Like, I've got to stay on top of my game, or otherwise I'm going to get shown up out there, and the fans are going to see it. And yeah. But that was the match that, like, when we finally went one-on-one, that was the match that really made me, like, have to think outside the box and, like, hey, this is what I need to do. This is where I need to be in order to even have a chance to beat this guy.
He's talented. I mean, you're very talented. We love watching you. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
I could understand.
I honestly wish I had half the wrestling knowledge this guy has. I really do.
It's like when you're watching him.
And he's another one. He's Jason Kincaid. He's been all over the world. He's traveled everywhere. He's been outside the country. I'm working on getting my passport so I can, like, go to Canada and Mexico and stuff like that. But Jason, he's been everywhere. He's been to Japan and everything.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know
and
that.
I would like to get myself to that point eventually, to be able to get it to where I can, hey, somebody wants to bring me out to Japan, or I can go out to Mexico. Canada's right up the road. I can easily get to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my big goal for 2024, is getting my passport locked in.
You can do it. You got it.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. Yeah, for sure. What's your most memorable match? Your favorite match that you've ever been in?
Gary Dameron, he runs ASW up in Madison.
Mm-hmm.
By far, he runs probably the most successful wrestling company in the state of West Virginia. By far. Like, if you wrestle in West Virginia, there's not one wrestler who doesn't know who Gary Dameron is.
Right.
He had this is a long time ago. He had a barbed wire death match, and they wrapped the ropes in barbed wire, and it was me and my big brother Raw Talent versus Rocky Rage and Shane Storm. And that was the first and only time they've ever done that match. Gary's been running for almost 20 years now. He's never done that match again because of how brutal it was. The four of us lost a lot of blood that day. Rocky had to go to the hospital afterwards because he had a piece of tissue sticking out of his arm from the barbed wire.
Man.
And it was just one of those matches to where we just literally laid everything on the line. Like, the four of us all went out there and we gave it everything. Like, it was just one of those moments to where the crowd was up, we were up, and we all felt we all felt it afterwards. It was one of them things like, hey, we all went out here, we all had a part to play, and everybody played that part, to where when we all four got back there, the four of us all just hugged each other like, man, we made it. Like, we made it through this. We really made it out alive. And the crowd was wanting more. Like, they were wanting more. And we literally left the ring and the outside area a bloody mess, and they were just chanting for more.
They were thirsty.
Yeah. And it was like, man, they really want to see this again. And the four of us were in the back just like, I don't think we could do that again. I don't think we could do it again. But it was just one of those matches to where I just felt like I put everything I had into that match, and the result paid off like 100%.
Sounds like you did.
Because everybody, it was one of those nights where it felt like everybody got their money's worth.
Well, I think anytime somebody comes to see you guys, I mean, that they always get their money's worth. That's all we try to tell people.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're not going and watching the independent circuit, you're missing out.
You really are.
Yeah, in my opinion, I mean, I love going to the big shows, WWE, AEW, all those. I love it, but I like going to the independent circuits even more. To me, and it's like more personable. I mean, I don't know. There's just something there.
I look at it like the guys on the independents are working harder because they want to get to those big shows. I don't know if that makes sense or not. And I'm not saying like the guys on TV aren't out there working hard, because they're on the road all the time. They're on the road. Those guys up working for the big TV companies. They're on the road 300 days a year. Like, I couldn't imagine. So I mean, they are working hard, but the guys on the independents and the guys and girls that are out here working in the indies, like, I feel like it's one of them things, like, we want to get to that big show. We want to get those TV deals and those contracts and stuff. So it's like we want it more. Yeah. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's just in my brain the way I'm thinking. Like, hey, it feels like we're a lot more hungry and more thirsty to prove ourselves that we can get to that next level. Yeah, and it's honestly, anybody who's been around long enough will tell you, wrestling's all about being in front of the right people at the right time. It really is. It's about being in front of the right people at the right time, having the right set of eyes on you, and then somebody's like, hey, I want to give this guy or girl a tryout. I want to give that person a tryout real quick and see if they're worth bringing on TV or getting a dark match or something like that.
I think it's awesome that they do that too.
Yeah.
Dark matches stuff, but you have to go through the stages that you're going through in order to get to that level.
Yep. I've had a lot of doors shut in my face. I've had people take one look at me without even seeing me wrestle and just be like, nah, we're good.
See, that's horrible.
Without even ever seeing me in the ring. I've had wrestlers come up to me and act like that. Like, we don't really want him here. And then when they see me in the ring or they have a match with me, they're like, their whole opinion changes completely. Like, never mind, bring him back. He's good.
Yeah. How many belts are you holding now? Championship belts?
3 right now. Yeah, towards the beginning of the year, it was 7. And now it's down to 3. I currently hold the MVW United States Championship, which I defend that November the 11th. I am currently the CCW Heavyweight Champion whenever they decide to run shows again. That is the show ran by Chris Ramey and his wife Jessica. I think they're still trying to find a building and everything, but as soon as they do, it'll be all good. They'll be back up and running in no time. And then Battleground Wrestling for Lee Jordan. I am currently his Warfare champion. This is my second reign as the BGW Warfare champion. I was the inaugural champion, so I was the first ever one to hold it. And now I'm holding it for the second time. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for right now.
Well, I mean,
that's all the belts I got right now.
That's pretty good. I mean, 3.
It was 7. And then things happen. Matches get lost sometimes. I can't win them all. Yeah. Can't win them all.
I mean, that's a lot on your plate, just defending 3, much less 7.
Yeah.
See, I saw a question pop up on
Sorry?
Facebook. I saw that question come up on Facebook for you. Find it.
Oh, that was by Mr. Frost.
Yes.
I think he was asking for some advice.
Yes, he said, how hard is it? It was James DeShazo?
Yep. He is another professional wrestler. He goes by Black Ice. Or Frost. James Frost. It's James Frost. His tag team name is Black Ice. His tag name is Black Ice.
And he said, how hard is it being a successful African-American wrestler in Southern West Virginia? And do you have any advice?
I told him earlier, I posted a little something in there. People, and especially like being African American, trying to wrestle in this area, it's people are gonna make you feel like you're not enough or the work you're doing isn't good enough, but it shouldn't stop you from working hard. Like I said earlier, like the doors that have been shut in my face and everything, it motivated me to go out and get better. It motivated me to work harder and prove everybody else wrong. And I'm like, hey, they've got the guys they want to use and the guys they want to get behind. I'm going to make them get behind me. I'm going to make these people believe in me and see that I'm worth keeping around. And I think that's kind of where they need to go with it because they've been tagging for a little bit now. He's got a partner, and they've been tagging for a little bit, and they're going to face. And honestly, I've never had a promoter discriminate against me. I've never had a wrestling promoter say, "Hey, we're not going to book you because you're black." I've never had that. I've never had to deal with that. But I felt the energy from like people in the locker room, fans and stuff like that. Like I could tell the minute I walked through that curtain, I'm not welcome here. I'm not welcome here. So let me go out here and turn it up to an 11 and show them why I deserve to be here.
Mm.
So that way when the music hits, my skin color shouldn't even matter. They're going to look and be like, hey, that's Zaiden Kayne. He's one of the best guys that we've got around here. We want to see him.
Yeah, exactly. That shouldn't matter anyway. It should all be all the competition.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't because I mean we're living in 2024 almost, and people are still walking around acting like clowns, and it's ridiculous.
It is. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Everybody should work together. It would be so much more successful if people would, versus. That
is a really big thing. And like I said, I've traveled everywhere. I've literally wrestled all over this country. I've wrestled in exactly 21 different states. It's almost half the country, and I've been fortunate to travel so many places. And I stick by this to this day. You won't find any harder workers than right here in the tri-state area, right here between Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana. You won't find any harder workers than the guys and girls we got right around here in this little area of ours. And I've been to Texas, I've been to Florida, and all them. I've seen a lot of hardworking people, but some of the hardest working people I've got to meet myself are right here in the tri-state. And one big negative thing I always see is that no one wants to work together. Everybody wants to step on top of everybody. Nobody wants to pull their weight and like help that next person up or work together. It's always like, oh, well, when I first started working, like when I first got into the business, people would tell me, hey, if you work for this guy, we won't book you. Or
that's awful.
If you work for that company or that company, we won't use you because we don't like them. I'm like, why? Why are you telling me where I can and can't make money? Because at that point, you're messing with my money.
Yeah.
And I've been around long enough to see for myself who to work for and who not to work for. I've dealt with some scumbags before, and I know who to stay away from. But I think it's a really bad way to do business when people are like, hey, don't work for them or you can't work for us, like that's really toxic. Like it's really, really toxic. And it leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth when people are just trying to work and make a little money and have fun. Like I deal with a lot of stress and a lot of stuff outside in the real world anyway, as well as other people do too. I shouldn't have to be stressed out in my happy place. And wrestling is my happy place.
Right. Would you have any advice for Destiny, or she just started training and being a female wrestler at that?
If they get mad, I really don't care. But I'm gonna tell you, Destiny, you need to hit them girls as hard as I would hit you, or as hard as I would hit a grown man. Because women's wrestling is in such high demand right now. Women's wrestling is really taking off. So it's to the point to where there's going to be a lot of eyes on you because, hey, there's another women's wrestler in the area. Do your best to stand out from everybody else, but also bring it. Don't water yourself down, if that makes any sense. Like, do your best to make sure that you take care of the business. Go out there, work hard, and be believable. Be believable. Like, we're way past, we're no longer in the bra and panties era. If you watched wrestling in 2005, that's all you were seeing was Trish Stratus and Lita in some bra and panties wrestling in Jello. It was ridiculous. Like, they weren't taking like the athleticism and the wrestling serious. Make them take you serious. And you've got really good people helping you. You've got Joe Pace. You've got Bobby Blaze of all people. Like, I used to watch Bobby Blaze when I was a kid. Like, you've got some really good people in your corner. And Bobby knows what he's doing. Bobby knows what he's doing. He will give you all the fundamentals you need to get through a match. Every single bit of them. To where you can just go out there and just do it with your eyes closed. Like, hey, I've got this. I know where I'm at. But it's up to you to make the fans believe you. It's up to you because you're not a wrestler. You're a saleswoman. You have to go out there in that ring and sell them the Neon Enigma. You have to do everything you can to sell them the Neon Enigma. It's up to you to go out there and sell it so good to where everyone in that crowd wants to buy it. And then once they buy it, they're coming to see you again next month.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Terry Funk said, rest his soul, Terry Funk said, I can't make you believe professional wrestling is real, but I can make you believe that I'm real. And I have used that since day one in professional wrestling. I use it to this day.
That's so good. Mm-hmm.
Because nobody out there, there's not one soul out there that can't tell me I'm one of the hardest workers in this business right now. Because I am. And my work speaks for itself.
Yes, it does.
So and that's the best advice I can give you as far as you just getting in. Bust your ass, man. Work your ass off. Put that work in. And I promise people will take notice. I promise you they will. Hard work does not go unnoticed in professional wrestling. You just have to get the right eyes on you. You just got to get the right people to watch you. And I promise they'll notice that hard work.
Thank you. You have any other questions for him? How did you come up with your gimmick?
You ever heard of a game called Assassin's Creed?
Yes.
What my gimmick is now. I've got like a whole new look. I've got all new gear and everything. I got this like little cloak thing now to go over my. It's pretty cool. Like I've got a new mask. I've got all types of new stuff now. You saw me at the FTC show. You saw how I was dressed. Yeah. That's the whole new gimmick I've got now. I'm bugging. That and I watch a lot of kung fu flicks. Like I watch a lot of kung fu movies. and I just wanted to kind of mix both of them in a way. Again, wrestling's all about standing out. You can't just be. It's not just about being that, oh, raw, look at me, I'm big and strong, I'm gonna beat you up next week. You got to do something different.
Yeah.
Look at Su Yung. Look at Su Yung.
Mm-hmm.
She's the undead bride. I tell everybody, she's the female Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She has another gimmick. She has another gimmick called Susie.
Mm-hmm.
So to where she's normal. And then out of nowhere, something happens. She flips the script and she's Su Yung again.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. Same thing. Like when I caught an eye, I was like, that is awesome. Like we don't have a girl doing that. It was at the time it was just Bray doing stuff like that. And then Su Yung got signed with Impact and started doing the Susie gimmick. And I'm like, man, they've got money right here. They've legitly got money. And it's about finding what works for you. She found what works for her in wrestling. And you need to do the same thing, Destiny. Like you're going to go through a million ideas before you find the one that sticks with you the most, before you find the one you want to use. But again, just stand out from everybody. Be different. You don't need another Su Yung. We already got one of those. You know what I mean? We don't need another Trish Stratus. We already got one of those. We don't need another Lita. We got one of those. Be you. Be the best version of you and just be different. Because that's what's going to get eyes on you. That's what's going to make people notice you. I was told, I took a seminar from a wrestler, and he told me, if you want people to take you serious as a wrestler, look like a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's like, these guys are supposed to be rock stars. Look like a freaking rock star. Look the part. You're going in a really good direction though. Like I said, you're with Bobby Blaze, you're with Joe Pace, you're with guys that legitimately know what they're doing and really want to help the next generation of wrestlers. Like I've seen a lot of schools that'll just take your money and beat you up and send you packing. I've seen a lot of places that do that, and I promise you, Art of Grappling is not one of those places. You're in really good hands with those guys. Really good hands. And guys that are done training there, like Brox and Titan, those guys are wrestling all over the place now.
And they train.
I remember when they first started. They were just working for Joe. They were just working for FTC. Now they're getting booked for ASW. They're getting booked for BGW. They're getting booked for all these shows in the area now because they're putting the work in. So just keep that up. Just keep putting that work in. And like I said, once the right set of eyes, they'll notice. They'll notice.
Yeah, Brox and Troy both actually are. Yeah, Brox is head trainer now, or he's right under Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Troy helps train too. So yeah, they're.
And that's good. Like it's one of them things. Like when you get up to where you need to be, when you get to the top, and you feel like, hey, I'm finally a little successful. I can do this. I can do that. When you're standing on top of that mountain, you're enjoying the view. Turn around real quick, stick your hand out, and pull up the next person. Because that's how wrestling succeeds.
Yep.
And a lot of people miss that part. A lot of people are just like, hey, I want to take what I can get from the business and bleed it for everything. Nah, man. Once you feel like you're on top of the world, turn around and pull up the next person so they can get on top. And keep it going. Keep that cycle going. Nobody, like you said earlier, nobody wants to help anybody. Nobody wants to work together. I honestly think wrestling would be a lot better if people did. I really do.
Sure. For sure.
And wrestling's not in a bad state. It's just, it can be toxic sometimes because, again, people want to do the behind the back stuff. They don't want to work together. And it's just, it can be draining sometimes. It can be draining. But it's also real rewarding. Like I said, the traveling, all the memories, the people I've got to meet. I've gotten to do some pretty cool things, and it's all because of wrestling.
Yeah, and it's not, and I wasn't saying that to say it's all chaos and it's all backstage.
Oh, no, it's not all the time.
I know there's like FTC, they're family, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah, and I don't know a lot about all of the other organizations, but I know there's just like in everything, there's good and there's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't wrestle for FTC all the time, but when they do bring me in, I'm still treated like I'm part of the family. Like I've never left. It's one of those things like, hey, where you been? Good to see you, man. Like we missed you. You know what I mean? They treat me like I've never left to begin with. And I love that about those guys. They got a really good thing going. And there's a lot of companies out there that are like that too. It's just you got to know where to look. You got to know where to look.
Right. And I think the vibe comes across too, even when you're at a show.
Yeah.
The ones that are like, it's like they're not. I don't want to say like they're not in sync with each other.
Yeah.
You know, and some of them that you go to, it's like you can feel the tension there, and that's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for the fans.
No, and just and that's the crazy part. If the fans can notice that, the wrestlers notice it too. It's crazy. And we're nothing. We have no show without the fans. We can't do anything without the fans. So the last thing you want to do is push people out the door.
Right.
The goal is to bring them in. The goal is to bring them in, not turn them away. And that only works if people work together and do their part.
Right. Right. That's true. Just like in anything in this world, if you don't do your part, you can't complain, right?
The old teamwork makes the dream work, right? That old mentality.
I want to ask you another question. Who is one person, like independent, professional, wherever, that you would like to be able to face that you have never got?
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam.
Ooh, why he's still active? Why he's still active? Why he is still an active wrestler? I want to wrestle Rob Van Dam one time for the one time.
I could see that. That would be good.
Why he's still good? I mean, he's in AEW right now. Why he's still good to go and still in really good shape and can still move? I want to wrestle Rob Van Dam. So somebody out there in wrestling land, book that for me, please. This is my call to the wrestling universe. Zaiden Kayne versus Rob Van Dam. Let's make it happen.
Everybody watches this, tag him at him. Share it to his page.
Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it either. Yeah, RVD all day.
Nope. But I could see that. That would be good. That would be so good. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah. Who's the most, I'll say, famous wrestler that you've ever got to be in the ring with?
Ric Flair.
Did you really?
And I didn't even get to wrestle for him. Gary Dameron brought him in one day. Gary brought him in and said, hey, Zaiden, can you work security for Ric Flair today? I wasn't even wrestling. I said, absolutely, I'll be security for Ric Flair. So I got to walk Ric Flair to the ring that night. Like I got to make sure nobody bothered him as he was making his way to the ring. So they're playing the Nature Boys music and I'm right behind him walking into the ring. It was pretty cool.
See, that's a dream come true. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even have to wrestle that. I didn't even wrestle that day. And that I felt like a kid. I felt like a little kid. Like I'm literally hanging out with the Nature Boy today.
Oh, no doubt. I would have been like,
yeah.
You want me to put something in front of your feet to walk on?
Yeah. Hey, if they would have gave me the red carpet, I would have rolled it out for him and everything. I'd have threw some rose petals on the ground for him and everything. Come on, buddy. Yeah, when Gary came up and said, hey, man, you want to work security for Flair's table today? I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely, I do.
Oh, God.
I put my ASW shirt on, and I sat right there, and I hung out with Ric Flair for about 6 hours that day.
Was he amazing?
Yeah, he was awesome. I got this I have a WrestleMania encyclopedia. It's old. It only goes up to WrestleMania 25. I mean, we're almost to WrestleMania 40 now, so it's really outdated. But it's an old book, but I got it signed by Kurt Angle, Mark Henry, Ricky Steamboat. Ric Flair signed my book.
Oh, wow.
So I don't have the heart to get rid of it. I'm going to keep this book and just have everybody that's appeared for WrestleMania try to sign this book, just whoever I meet at the time.
Oh, no doubt. I would too. I'd be having it in a safe, locked up somewhere, fireproof.
Look, I even told myself, I was like, I'm hanging out with Flair for like 6 hours. I'm gonna grab my book real quick and sneak it in here and see if he'll sign it real quick when he ain't busy. Like, hey man, we've been hanging out all day. Could you at least sign my book real quick?
Yeah, right. Phew, my goodness. Oh, I've always wanted to meet him. I've seen him in person. Seen him wrestle, but
Oh
I've
yeah,
never got to meet him. Oh, yeah, that'd be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. That was a dream come true. Like I said, I didn't even wrestle that day, and it didn't bother me one bit. I
Hmm.
had the time of my life just hanging out with the nature boy.
Did you give him a woo?
Oh yeah, I was wooing all day, all day. Because the crowd was. So I'm
Yeah.
standing behind his table while he's selling pictures and shirts and all that stuff. And the crowd, every time, like every 5 seconds, the crowd would just woo, and I'd do it with them. Like every 5 seconds, there was a woo from somebody.
Oh gosh, I would have been doing the same thing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. I literally felt like a little kid that day. It was great. It made me fall in love with wrestling all over again. Like I wanted to call my mom. Like I really wanted to call my mother and be like, "Yo, Ma, I'm literally hanging out with the nature boy right now." She would not have believed me. She would not have believed me. My pops would have been like, "Put him on the phone." My dad would have been like, "Put him on the phone right now." Like, no, 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 no.
FaceTime.
That's what it would have been. So he'd be like, "Put him on the phone, son." I'm like, oh, "Dad, he don't want to talk to you." Hey, Ric Flair, my dad wants to say hi.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Oh, that would have been great. Oh. Do you have anything? I know you told us about upcoming events, and you said that your merch and stuff's on your website. Do you have anything new other than that coming up? Than your next couple of. You have anything in the works?
I do actually, because I brought my SoundCloud up earlier. I got a new album coming out in the beginning of next year. It'll be called Sarcophagus. It'll be streaming on Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. So be sure to be looking out for that. Um, yeah, I got a few shows coming up the rest of this year. I got a few in December coming up. I just dropped a whole new line of T-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. So you can go to Pro Wrestling Tees and get the new Zaiden Kayne T-shirts that are out.
We'll have to check that out for sure. Because like I said, we looked for your merch, but we never could find it. So.
Yeah. I can send you guys a link or whatever you need when we get done with this. So.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay busy. I've the album I'm working on. It'll be about 8 songs, so not really gonna do a big project this time. Just something small, just to keep people content for now.
We listened to one of them that you posted the link for.
Oh yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
The one I'm working on now, it's just basically gonna be about experiences I've been through music, because I've just as much as I've done wrestling, I've been in music too. I've been writing and producing and recording my own music since I was 17. I'm 34 now.
Wow.
So I've been doing it for a long time. I've been on 2 tours. I've got to tour with Head PE, King Spade, Potluck. I've opened up for Tech Nine.
Wow.
Opened up for Hobson, a few other people. I've got to do a lot of things and travel and see a lot of places because of music too. Not even just wrestling, but for music. So I've been doing it for a good while.
Hobson. You say Tech Nine and Hobson. I was like, I don't hardly ever hear anybody say Hobson's name.
Yeah.
But you don't hear people say it very often.
There is a buddy of Hobson. He's a good friend of Hobson. They rap together. His name's Dizzy Wright. I just did a feature with him.
Wow, that's awesome. That's impressive.
Yeah, I've got a feature with him out right now.
Oh, we'll have to look for that.
I could definitely send you guys that. Yeah.
Yeah, send that, please. And I was getting ready to ask you about your music. How does your, I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but how did your music and your wrestling coincide to work together? Like, does your music help you?
Yes, it does. It's helped me with promos. So like I know so many wrestlers that are like, oh man, I don't feel comfortable talking on the mic. I'm like, this is like a second nature to me to have a microphone in my hand. It's like literally like it's like a second language. So like, because I can freestyle and all types of stuff. So like when I would do promos, they just come natural. So normally, like if I film a promo for a show, like, hey, I'm coming to this company in this town on this day or whatever, I can normally do it in one take because I 9 times out of 10 know what I already want to say.
We've watched.
And I know a lot of people that like juggle their words and like fumble and all types of stuff for promos. Like, oh man, like 4, 5, 6 takes. I'm like, it takes me like 60 seconds to do a promo.
You can tell
that's one thing that's really helped me out is I do feel like I've got some really solid promos.
You do for sure. At least the ones we've seen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good.
I've been doing new ones now. In my newer promos to where I'll say something. I'll get to the end and I'll be like, go ahead and hit my music. And I'll snap the finger and it'll cut to one of my songs. So it's helping me, like, I'm advertising the wrestling, but I'm also advertising my music at the same time in the promo video.
That's awesome. That's nice. I like that. I don't think I've seen one of those yet. We'll look for it. Do you have anything else that you would like everybody to know? Any questions?
I think we got it. Again, just any wrestlers out there, man, just work hard, man. Don't be afraid to put the work in, and I promise people will notice. People will notice. I see a lot of people take shortcuts and think it's going to make them stars overnight. It doesn't work that way. Don't ever be above putting the work in.
That's good.
I'm living proof of how much the hard work will pay off.
And they're working.
I was literally walking around with 7 championships at the beginning of the year because I worked my ass off for that.
That's what I was going to say. The ones that do work, it shows. You know.
Oh, speaking of that, FTC, that championship would look really good around my waist. Just throwing that out there. If you ever want to bring your boy back, and you ever want me to beat one of your champions, just let me know.
Well, we know. We can make sure they know that.
That is one championship that has always been on my radar. Is the FTC championship. That belt is definitely on my radar.
There you go.
A couple other ones around the area too, but I want that FTC title. That would definitely be a nice one to add to the collection.
We'll tag him down there. Let him know. We'll tag him in the comments.
Hey,
share it with him. But thank you so much.
But no, Destiny. Again, I'm very happy for you. Like I said, you're in really good hands with Joe. You're in really good hands with Bobby, and they're gonna take really good care of you. I'm really happy for you, and I can't wait to see where you go next from here.
Thank you. Hey, you never know.
I can't wait to see your first singles match.
Huh? Do it.
I'm just saying, if your first singles match is against Su Yung, I'm going to be there. I'm definitely going to be there. If your first one-on-one match is against somebody that's currently on TV, I'm going to be there. Hold up, man. Like, wait a
minute. Talk about a dream come true, right?
That's right there. I mean, I'd retire at that point. My first match was against the former women's champion. Hold up, man. Wait 1 second. Actually, she won it twice. She's been the Impact Knockouts champion twice now. So that's no pressure. She's just a 2-time world champion. Just a 2-time. No pressure, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I was just you never know when you all might work together, but then
facts. I smell a tag team. I smell a tag team. I think we might have to call out Sarah Bubbles and a partner of her choosing.
No. Ooh.
We might have to go pop some bubbles of our own.
Oh. We love you, Sarah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Sarah Bubbles, man, she has been working her tail off as well. Like I've been seeing her everywhere lately.
Mhm.
I hope she's okay from taking that red mist to the face, though. That red mist ain't no joke.
What was it? She's gonna be at what is it? Route
33.
Yes.
Route 33. I've been trying to get on there. I've reached out to those guys. I've been trying to get up that way.
Yeah.
They've got a nice little promotion up that way. They got a really good stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's supposed to be going up there. When is it? November, I think.
Yeah, it's in November.
In November at some point. But thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
No, thank you guys for having me. This is great.
Oh, you're welcome. We've been wanting to have you on for a while, but schedules are crazy.
Schedules are crazy sometimes. I get it.
Yeah. Oh, we'd like to have you back again sometime.
Absolutely. I know you guys are bringing a lot of new people in, so if you guys want to schedule anything for 2024, let me know. I'm down.
Okay, absolutely. We'd love that.
Kick the new year off with a Zaiden Kayne podcast. We can do that.
Yeah. Maybe we can even get it in person somewhere. That'd be cool too.
Yeah. It's nothing for me to get to Huntington.
Cool. We'll have to do that. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
That works.
You want to close us out, Destiny? This is what she's got to work on. She's got the physical down, but it's the mouth.
You got to get them interview skills up, girl. You got to get them interview skills up. You're doing great.
Anyway, you guys go check out Zaiden, check out his wrestling, check out his music and his merch. We're going to put the link in the comments for his website so you guys can check him out. Go check him out at his show, Independent Wrestling. I tell you guys, once you go once, you're hooked.
That's right. Hardest worker in the room. You already know.
Yes. And so this is Zaiden, Destiny, and Cindy. Keep It Real podcast telling you keep it real, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey.